Now some of these cuts over here are grossly underrated, I would think. The punters tend to go for the big 3 that we've already done. But there's some good meat still to be had on this animal, isn't there?
Absolutely. I mean, your rump steak, which we're getting into now. I've just got to concentrate a bit here while I take this out, James. And then we have our primal, that's our rump. Now, when cooking the rump steak, because it is a very large steak, the best way to cook your rump is to cook it whole. The rump steak is made up of 5 muscles, and of course if you cook your steak, pardon me, if you cut your steak, sorry, before you cook it, what happens is those 5 muscles will actually shrink and contract, and that affects your eating quality of your steak. So when we're serving our clients here, we always say to our people, cook your steak whole, and then once it's cooked, then cut it into portions. And you get a better eating quality steak.
Now, is there a direction that this piece should be cut when they do get to the point of cutting it?
Well, we normally slice it for our lovely customers, but when you're cutting a rump steak, bang, bang, bang. Best size steak to have, by rule of thumb, is between 22 and 25 mil thick. Any thicker, any thinner, sorry, and it'll tend to dry out a lot quicker when you cook it. The secret is to a nice juicy steak, not too thin. 22 to 25 mil, and you're right on the money. Okay, now this is what we call a butter beef. So out of the butter beef, we're going to extract your traditional roasts, some barbecuing steak, and some corn meat as well. Now most people, sorry, not everyone I should say, but most people would have heard of a top-side roast. So this is the top-side muscle that we're now taking off the hind quarter of the lovely cow that was out eating grass about 14 days ago. We hang our beef for about 14 days prior to sale. 14 days is when it's eating quality, I believe, is at its best. Just come down that seam there like such, into the hip bone. Give that a pull. There we have our top side muscle, ready for prepping. That's what we call a Pope's eye in the industry. Just in here, little eye. Take that out.
Yeah, of course we're only doing beef for this particular segment, but Hillies have got the full range of anything carnivorous, yes?
Absolutely, mate. We've got Gippsland pork, Gippsland lamb, our chickens are chemical free and hormone free, which we pick up direct 3 days a week, and our fantastic little delivery vans when we go to Melbourne to deliver our product.
So it's always coming in fresh?
Absolutely, mate. Fresh is best. Okay, we're just facing that up. Now, here we have our top side muscle there. So, traditionally, carve it into roasting. You can also get a nice beef schnitzel out of that. Stir-fry beef, diced beef. You can also whack it through a tenderiser and whack it on the barbecue if you're looking for a cheaper cut of meat, depending on your budget for a barbecue, James. So that's our top side. The next primal is what we call a buddy steak or round steak. You probably notice all the little bits of trim and fat, the bone. Nothing gets wasted. The beef trim, we lean the trim up, we take all the fat out of it, and we put that through our mincer, and that gives us our premium beef mince for our bolognese and spaghettis and hamburgers and so on. The fatter cuts of trim that come off that go into our award-winning sausages. Fairly well known down in our parts, in the southern region, for a number of prizes with our sausages. Most of our sausages are placed from first place to third place in the local competition, which is great. It's always a good sign too when you get a nice clean bone like that. The bosses always like that. And that's what we call our buttock, or round. As you can see, round, hence the name. It looks like a nice round piece of steak. We'll prep that up and I'll show you what it looks like when we're ready to slice. Nice little seam under there.
And of course those award-winning snags you were talking about, mate, they just don't stop at your traditional barbecue sausages, do they? We've got, you've got all sorts in the meat case out the front there.
Yeah, we've got about 8 varieties. We do a chicken and garlic, a chorizo, a nice Italian, an award-winning Cornish, and a honey lamb and rosemary, tomato, bacon and onion, just to name a few. And in our peak season, being from around about mid-November through to Easter, we can do up to 1 tonne of sausages a week. And they're all handmade the old traditional way, James.
A tonne of sausages, mate. I haven't moved that much meat since I had to get rid of the mother-in-law. So.
Well, let's hope she doesn't hear that. Okay, and that's what we call our round steak or buttock steak. That's now ready for slicing. Traditionally out of that, once again, you can break it down further and seam it, get a few little roasts out of it. Primarily through our shop, it's a barbecue steak. We whack through the tenderiser, we can also pepper and garlic it. It can also be used for stir fries and diced as well.